Look.
Listen.
Taylor.
Oh, my God. Okay, so we got the noisiest. Hey, welcome back. Or me, welcome back to you. It's a Pokemon podcast the first time in forever. I'm Geese Guyera, and that's Geese and Taylor, like they said.
Hi.
Hello.
It's true.
There's so much noise, I am predicting, because we got leaf blowers at Geese's. We got Taylor's normal crew of noisemakers.
I think they're gone.
Plus,
The leaf
he's making drum noises with his new mic stand and fresh Phil Evans pop filter. Very exciting.
It's hard not to follow the beat of your heart.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Well said.
Yes.
Thank you.
Clambos, your mic sounds nice today, Geese. I wonder why that is.
Who's to say?
Good work.
It's a new recording location.
I hope you're ready for Pokemon podcast. I know there's fewer of you than more people like watching Japan vlogs than Pokemon podcast, it turns out. But hey,
Who can blame them?
Who can blame them? People do like videos.
Yeah.
That's why we gotta clip out little videos, but we don't record the video, so we're just completely boned.
We could do that.
We could, but then we'd
Yeah.
have to shower beforehand, and
Oh God, yeah.
I don't care.
The list goes on.
the list goes on. Hey, look, it's Lookless with Geese and Guyera and Taylor, so we probably got to change the name of the series because Taylor's on every episode where we talk about Pokemon and other things. I hope you enjoy the Japan vlogs. We won't go into them further because I don't want to make Taylor very sad because he is non-ambulatory. Is that the word? That
It
means
is.
You can't go to Japan?
It is the not just a word, it's a lifestyle.
Nice.
I can kind of walk though.
And that's sick.
Ooh.
I know.
And
You want to hear my pop filter drum beat?
no.
Oh.
So, Clambos, I went to Super Nintendo World. It was difficult to get in, but I somehow pulled it off. And the Mario Kart ride is neat. Was it worth waiting 36 hours to ride? No. But especially the end of the ride was very cool. And I'm glad that I did not spoil it for myself by looking up any details ahead of time.
I have a question.
Question from Geese, yes.
So I was a live correspondent while Guyera was at Mario Land, and he did mention, and he wrote in his notes that he got Panda Express. Now, my question for you is, did you get Panda Express in Universal Studios?
Yes, it's right next to Super Nintendo Land World.
Oh.
Super Mario Town.
Where is it in Universal? Let's say you're going from the
Okay, you have to go all the way down to the lower lot. So you pass Simpsons Land, and then you go down 55 escalators.
So it's in the park.
Yes. You go down
Oh.
3,000 feet into the ground, and then you're going to see there's like a Jurassic World building. There's a Transformers ride, I think. And as you walk towards the Transformers ride. So anyway, you're walking, and you see Panda Express. Now, my plan, everyone in my life abhors Panda Express, so I actually never get an opportunity to ever even think about eating it because
I don't really like it.
It's hardwired in my brain to be disgusting, but there's no good Chinese food here anyway. But
yeah.
My intention was to eat delicious Nintendo food, but at the time I could not for the life of me get into Super Nintendo World because they do it sort of like, Taylor, do you remember Rise of the Resistance, how we had to be there super early and get a slot?
Yeah.
So that's kind of how they're doing it with this virtual line thing. It's supposed to run out of spots early in the day and you have to be inside the park and everything.
Uh-huh.
But luckily, and the employees don't make it sound like this is likely, but luckily, slots open up throughout the day if you just keep refreshing the app.
Mm-hmm.
So in the middle, as I'm sitting down with the Panda Express because I gave up on Super Nintendo World because I couldn't get in, a slot opened up, so I quickly wolfed down all of the Panda Express so I could get into Super Nintendo World in 10 minutes when my slot opened up.
Inhaled that orange chicken.
I did.
Orange, it's very good.
It's not worth $20, but it's
Oh
fine.
God, no. It's just a bunch of sugar.
$20.
Just eat get a chicken sandwich and put some sugar on it, and you're
I got
good.
Beijing beef. But it's
yum, yum.
fun. Yum, yum, yum. it's fine because the the food in Nintendo World was sold out anyway. Because
It's probably just a bunch of mushrooms, huh?
No, they have a big spread. Geese doesn't like the looks of it, but they look kind of cute. But that is also reservation only, and that one said, "Oh no, we're booked for the day. Sorry." So it's fine. But that's enough of me having fun in Nintendo World. How about we go on to watching, playing, eating, looking, playing, goofing, playing with Taylor. Why don't you tell Geese to begin with watching Bluey?
Geese, why don't you ask Michael to tell me to tell you to start your watching Blueies?
Yeah, so I've been watching Bluey, which for those who don't know is a Australian-made children's show where it's a family of dogs and all the other characters are dogs, and it's very sweet and it's very cute and it teaches valuable lessons about being a parent, and it's just very sweet and it's funny and cute.
What's the animation style? Is it drawn or is it like a CG thing?
Unlike most children's TV shows, it's
Oh.
2D animation.
Okay, all right. You know what I've been seeing? Do you watch a lot of anime?
No, I do not.
I've been seeing a lot of previews for this show called Trigun. So that was a show in the 90s that it didn't age well, but it was real cool at the time. And they're remaking it, and it's the only time I've seen I don't know what the style is called, but it's like a pseudo CG hand-drawn look to it, and it's the first time I've seen it executed that well. So I was kind of wondering if that was going to be a trend in children's shows too.
The latest Dragon Ball movie looks incredible, even though it doesn't look like that. Still shots. I feel like we've discussed that here actually before.
What, the latest Dragon Ball movie?
Yeah, the art
we have.
style, how it looks great in motion, but if you're just looking at a screenshot, you think, I don't know about all
Oh
that.
yeah. We did talk about that because I love that animation style so much.
Taylor.
Yes.
Oh, you actually watched Skinamarink?
Yeah.
Okay. I got 10 minutes into it, but then I went to go watch new Ted Lasso.
Did you Ted Lasso. Did you not like it?
I'll probably finish it one day. I have at least 2 months free trial of Shudder because I tried to cancel it because I don't want to be charged.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping they do the thing where when you cancel it says okay, but you can still use it until this date.
They probably will.
When I tried But when I tried to do that, they said, "How about instead of 1 week trial, we give you 2 months trial?" And I said, "Okay." So
you should have
I have 2
negotiated
months.
further.
I know. That's what Geese did with her Geese Louise plane ticket. She's got like $3,000.
Wow.
Let me tell you what happened. So
Did you just keep saying, "Let's sweeten the deal"?
Yes.
in a way. So I was supposed to fly to Milwaukee last night to go.
That's
What?
That's not a real place. That's a place in like a Disney movie.
Milwaukee is a city. I don't know what she said. I thought you should speaking
Milwaukee.
She is speaking Na'vi. Milwaukee.
First of all, Milwaukee is Lakotan in the
You
Lakotan
can't say-
language. So
The way you're saying it is MWOKEE. Milwaukee.
There's like 3 apostrophes in what you're saying. Milwaukee. It's like a move in Tekken.
Milwaukee. Or a character. It could be a
That's
character,
somebody-
like a grappler.
All right, go continue, Geese.
okay. So I was supposed to fly to Milwaukee last night, and I had seen prior to going to the airport that the flight was going to be completely full and that likely that it'd be overbooked. So I could come prepared for them to be asking for volunteers to switch. And my parents actually were like still close to the airport, like doing shopping with that also expectation that I would volunteer to do it to get money. But so they originally announced like right before they do boarding that there's a problem with the plane, so there's a little delay. And then I see the pilot come out and talk to the gate person, and that's when I know like something's up.
Yeah.
And then right when they actually start to do boarding, they're like, "Guys, we need 7 volunteers or else I'm going to be pulling names.
The pilot came out for that?
No, not the pilot, another gate person.
Pretty serious when the pilot's pulling people off the plane.
Well, here's why I think what happened was that they mentioned that there was a problem, and I think what happened is the plane was overweight. So they probably had some like cargo. They're probably like shipping like letters or whatever. So they need people to get off. And because they like asked for volunteers so late, they immediately started with, "We'll give you a $600 flight credit."
Oh.
And so I'm first in line because I was expecting this to happen.
Yeah.
And then I get processed, my flight change, whatever. And then these other 2 ladies who also volunteered, they didn't have a place to stay. And the Southwest lady was like, "Oh, all the hotels are booked because it's spring break, so you'll get a $300 credit, a further $300 credit." And I was like, I need a place. Like, I don't have a place to stay. Can I have $300? Which wasn't true.
That's
my parents are still here for like 2 more weeks. But
they're shopping.
And then, yeah, they're shopping. They're ready for me.
Who knows where you would end up?
Very busy.
I somehow also, I don't even know what this was for, but I also got $174, and I have no idea what that credit was for.
Was that related to all the cancellations?
I don't know. Like, maybe it's like meals and transportation.
Ooh, very sick.
But so I ended up walking away with $1,000 in flight credit.
What?
So yeah, and they rebooked my flight. So yeah.
Wow.
Taylor, I need to forge your signature on your IKEA form here. I filled out all the rest for you.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
What is this for? Are you getting furniture delivered?
No,
Probably
there's some lawsuit. Thing. Yeah, it's a class action. The court authorized this notice, so Taylor can get, I don't know, probably a couple dollars.
I'm really glad that you're mentioning this crime you're going to commit on the podcast.
No, it's fine if he authorizes it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So this
I'm
is
non-ambulatory,
like
Geese.
Yeah, he doesn't have hands.
Do you want me to walk to Los Angeles?
Why do you think Phil Evans had to put his pop filter on? Can you call Phil Evans and get Geese a pop filter, please?
I
please,
will.
For the love of God.
If he can find Milwaukee on a map.
Milwaukee. Okay. What I watched this week is Mandalorian, Ted Lasso, Last of Us, Scream 6. All fine. All just reasonable. I also watched, because of Geese Peep. Geese Peep said the words, this was not even a week ago.
Let me guess. She said something like extra crispy fries or something.
No, she said the word Princess Diaries. I almost said Princess Bride 15 times. She said the word Princess Diaries. I thought, Princess Diaries? I know who's in that film. Heather Matarazzo. Immediately, my brain went, Heather Matarazzo, she's in that movie, Welcome to the Dollhouse, that I saw in high school but don't remember. And then I just started researching that, and apparently this guy made all these interconnected films that are sequels and pseudo-sequels to one another. So I sat there over the course of a week and watched every single one of them. And unfortunately for everyone listening, I cannot discuss those films at all on this podcast. The themes are far too extreme. I can't even say the words. Most of them are not rated. They couldn't make it through. I mean, the ones that do have an R rating are filled with like
unmentionable things.
Red bars blocking what's on the screen to try to slip through the MPAA.
Oh, gosh.
Not even half of them you can stream. You have to find them like they're a darn Japanese episode of Pokemon or something on wild, sketchy sites. But,
well, Welcome to the Dollhouse wasn't like a walk in the park, right?
No. I mean, look, 2023 is a very different year than 2006 or 2007. So, what I saw in that movie, I was like, oh my God, that probably wouldn't have affected me as much back then when I was watching all sorts of wild movies. But yeah, that's all we can discuss. Sorry, everyone.
Yeah, good time. And that's our recommended viewing for the week.
Yeah. Yes, Geese.
I have a important correction to make.
A important correction.
Milwaukee is actually Algonquin. It's from the Algonquin language group, and I was mistaken.
What?
Would you like me to cut out your mistake?
I don't care.
She says that. I try to make everyone sound smart when I edit. Like if they make a big old
I'm
goof.
about honesty, about the artistic truth of the process. Leave it in.
Every loud breath is
Leave it
just
in.
as important. Okay.
Just so beleaguered with artistic integrity on the line.
Geese, would you like to discuss Fortnite gamers or pub subs?
Fortnite. That's all I have to say. I don't know. There's like a cool cyber Tokyo city and a
Ooh.
sword.
Nice.
Okay.
Pub subs are subs you can get at Publix, which is a grocery chain in the South, and they're really good. And my favorite pub subs are a chicken tender sub, and you gotta get the buffalo sauce on it though,
Yum, yum, yum.
and the spicy falafel sub, and you gotta get banana peppers on it. They're very tasty.
Buffalo sauce
Clambos.
and banana peppers.
Clambos. There's big, giant, what do you call it?
News.
Dramatic. Yes.
Oh.
The Cascabella peppers, the Southern California staple,
Yeah.
available at In-N-Out and
Tombos.
Tombos, exactly. In-N-Out's been out of them for a while now, and they only have dumb little banana peppers, and people are upset, and they're going to the stores and buying their own and using them.
When I hear like a little piece of news, I'm not normally very eager to go online, but I would love to see an irate person complaining about banana peppers as opposed to Cascabellas. Like, I feel like the pepper
mean
connoisseurs are
Guyera?
going to come out of the woodworks just talking about, the tiniest differences between the two of them and everything.
Tiny, they're
So
very
you're
different.
talking about Guyera?
No,
You're
Geese,
describing Guyera?
He's not a
What
pepper
were you-
connoisseur. I'm talking about people who live and breathe peppers. People
You
who
think-
like, I did an internship at the Sriracha factory.
Taylor, stop! First of all, you call me a non-pepper connoisseur? Second of all, Geese, what were you saying earlier? Because Taylor talked over you twice.
I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying that he was describing you. That's all I
But
was
before
saying.
that, you were going to say something too.
I don't know. I already
Lost
it's
to
already
the
gone.
wind once again, Taylor. Okay, new hand signal. This
Oh.
means
Yeah,
stop talking, Taylor.
I'll stop the second I see it. Don't do jazz hands.
If Geese and I both do that. Okay, all right. Let's move it along. All right. So you're pickling stuff, Taylor? That sounds good. Real quick, talk about that in video games. Hello? Is anybody here?
Yes, sorry. So, pickling stuff. I don't know why I started pickling so many onions, but I really wanted to eat pickled
I love
onions.
pickled onion.
Started it like a month ago, maybe, and I just made my first batch of traditional cucumber pickles. So that's been pretty good. Made some ramen eggs, made some ramen, been making a lot of curry.
Ooh. I miss gyudon with raw eggs because you can't eat that here because it's not safe.
The only part of a raw egg that isn't safe is the shell.
So you say.
Mm-hmm. I've been eating
I
raw
have a
eggs for
question.
years. Yes.
So you know how pickles are bumpy on the outside,
Mm.
but cucumbers aren't. Wait, yes they are.
Is
All
this
right.
leading into a Shrek-style analogy
No, it's
about
fine.
emotional vulnerability?
No, Taylor. No, it's fine. Taylor, Professor Dragon question. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
I got to edit. Hold on.
Go on, Geese. Bumpy
Quest?
eggs. Let's go.
Regular cucumbers before you peel them also have those bumps, and that's why pickles have those bumps.
That's okay. That's fine. It's just the pickling. The same thing happens to eggs. I'm sure that was your question. Yeah,
Oh.
it's wild.
Pickled eggs are so gross.
They start out super smooth and they get real bumpy,
Yeah.
just like a cucumber.
Okay, I'm having a breakdown. Continue.
No, I thought we were gonna have breakdowns. Taylor, quickly, Dragon Quest.
if you have a breakdown, message
it's-
Southwest. Try to squeeze a little bit more credit out of that.
That's not a bad
Whoa.
idea.
Still dealing with the emotional fallout of my
distress.
flight
Yeah.
cancellation.
1,000 is not enough.
Yep.
Is my life worth $1,000 to you?
You cannot put a price on your sanity, Mr. Southwest.
All right, Dragon Quest, Taylor. Tell me
Yeah.
about Dragon Quest or
So
Persona 5 Royale.
I think I was talking last time about how I have been completely out of turn-based RPGs for a really long time. So all of a sudden I hear Legend of Dragoon is coming, and I'm playing Yakuza Like a Dragon. Yakuza totally gets me back into JRPGs in the turn-based permutation of this. So I've been playing nothing but Dragon Quest XI, which I probably should have played before Yakuza, because then I would have really appreciated the little combat things, like team attacks and whatnot. But the story is so good. Persona 5 Royal is great, despite being in a high school setting. And I've been playing, haven't started Wild Arms 2, but played some Legend of Dragoon
I
re-release.
hear, Clambos, I hear Wild Arms 2 has a horrific translation / localization.
It's not great. And to be honest with you, the story has parts that are pretty sketchy. But it was really fun when I was a kid. And even if you're not into playing games like that or necessarily like watching that, I would highly recommend watching the disc intros. Because the intro of disc 1 and disc 2 had these AMVs with this cool Western music over it. Oh my God. So good.
My God.
It's one of the only times I would just, in the PS1 era, you would have the intros whenever you booted up a disc quite a bit. And I would watch these every single time.
Very sick.
Very
and
sick.
I played the Resident Evil 4 demo. That game will be out by the time you hear this. It's getting 10s everywhere. Best remake ever made, says some
Really?
reviews on the internet. So I was going to play it anyway, but now I'm halfway excited to play it, which is nice. Played
That's
the new
awesome.
Mario Kart 8 tracks with Keith, the best Mario Kart player in the world. So that was fun.
Mm.
And lots more I wrote. Who's to say what's lots more? All right. Anything else you guys want to bring up before we move along to some Poke News or Reporter Geese Peep?
I completely forgot about Reporter Geese Peep. Let me look up a city right now.
All right.
Just
Taylor.
look up
Mwaki. Taylor, introduce Poke News of the Week, reporter.
Easy. Poke News of the Week. This is the final episode of Ash. I hope you're all ready for it. It's airing this week. Wait, what? What? It says Poke News. I'm reading Poke News.
No, I said send it over to Poke News.
Oh, okay.
You don't have context for this. You're just saying the words.
It's time for Poke News of the Week. I thought it was my time to shine. I was so excited that
this has happened, by the way. I'm pretty sure this has happened with Geese before.
Well, it's like coach is throwing you into the game. You don't have time to think about the sport you're playing, you know?
Coach is just asking you to hand him the towel or the microphone.
All right. Poke News of the Week, Coach.
Clambos, look, it's me, Coach. And we got some Poke News of the Week this week. Let me read this piece of this telephone here. Clambos, first of all, apologies all around. The initial concept of covering this miniseries, the Ash's Farewell miniseries, aimed to be a Pokemon. Are you chewing ice into the microphone while she breathes into the microphone?
Oh my God. I thought I was muted. I always mute that.
God.
I'm sorry. Okay.
All right. So the plan was we watch the show, discuss it as it airs, but sometimes things happen, and it turns out the very final episode's already airing, and we're only on episode 4. But hey, you don't care. What are you? It's not even dubbed yet. You don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
All right. Also, we've got Togetic Community Day coming in Pokemon Go April 15th, which is super strange. And I'll tell you, Clambos, why. You probably already know why. A second stage, not the baby form of a Pokemon. It's very odd. We've had like Electabuzz and Magmar before, but at least with those guys, their baby forms were introduced in later generations. But Togetic was introduced the exact same generation as Togepi. So to just skip Togepi and have the catch be Togetic, a little strange. Then we've got unprecedented is what I wrote. All right, there's a Terra Raid in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet for Blissey, and it will
tell everyone what a Terra Raid is.
Oh, okay. Much like the raids in Pokemon Sword and Shield, the Terra Raids of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are where you battle a big giant Pokemon with people across the planet or your friends next to you or NPCs, and you have 4 people fighting against a very super powerful Pokemon, and you got to work together. And you got to bring good Pokemon for the higher level raids. For the higher level Pokemon, you need to bring in the big guns. i.e. a very powerful Pokemon that has been EV trained and has a good move set, and you need a strategy going in. You can't just press the A button. I mean, you do press the A button, but you choose like Metal Sound, and then Charge, and then Parabolic Drift. You can terrestrialize, but no, you'll get lots of experience candies. Oh my God, you should see what that word is in German. It's wild. No, you can get
What
lots
is
of
it?
experience. What did Geese say something? I can't see her.
Yeah. What is it in German?
Geese, wave your arms.
Let me look it up. It's like Gaftel Frostenlein. Let me look.
Sound angrier.
Well, they're pretty upset.
Yes. Especially about Terra evolving.
It's not Terra evolving. Terrastalize.
It's just, I thought I was making it sound ludicrous, but that sounds so much more ridiculous than Terra evolving.
Terrastalizing? Come on.
Yeah.
Nah, it's fine.
It's great.
Who asked me to look up what it was in German? It's, okay, so terrastalize in English. And in Deutsch, it's Terra Crystal Rong. Terra Crystal Rong. Perfect German. Perfect
You
German.
sound like a Lord of the Rings character casting a spell.
Yeah, that is the German. More or less. Okay. Geese, please tell Taylor, reporter Taylor, where he needs to deliver.
No, it's reporter Geese.
No, it's always reporter Taylor. I mean, it's reporter Geese Peep's segment, but you're the reporter.
Oh, God, no.
That's
I could
half
do
the
it.
reason you're here.
I mean, I'm fine with doing it today.
All right, she's fine with doing it today.
Hang on, let me gourd her.
Yeah, let me gourd her it real quick. No, Geese already. Geese already.
I was Googling reporter Geese.
Here's how it works. If Geese is at errands and she has access to voice modulation, then she's fine with it.
Oh.
I'm feeling fine with it today.
She's feeling fine.
Especially because you can't see me, which makes it even better.
All
right. Send me over.
Oh, and we have somewhere in Poland, surrounded by beautiful Polish girls, it's reporter Geese Peep.
Hi, it's me, reporter Geese Peep, live for Lincoln Elementary School News. And I'm in Radom? I don't know. Poland.
Fun fact, Taylor. Okay. Fun fact, Taylor, did you know that in Polish, it's a, Russian-style language, but they use our characters.
Really?
Yeah, our 26. And maybe
interesting.
Like a couple more. It's way easier to read Polish. Go ahead, reporter.
It's a Slavic language, but they don't use Cyrillic lettering.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Makes it easy to learn on Duolingo.
Okay.
Cool.
It's me, reporter Geese Peep again, and it's 1 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's Wednesday. Okay, bye.
You got me with Wednesday. Thank you very much, reporter Geese Peep.
Me too. I was not ready for the day of the week.
Please enjoy this ad break.
All right, Clambos, is what you've all been waiting for. It's the next episode of Pokemon Tunbear Master. Geese, why don't you tell us the name of the episode in English? And I'll tell you right now, his English name is Beartic, not Tunbear.
Bear.
Tunbear's Sigh. What do you want from me?
I want you to say Beartic's
I'm
Sigh.
gonna have another breakdown.
But you don't even have video. You're gonna have
Just catalog it. Just catalog.
Wait,
it.
no,
We'll have records for Southwest.
You're gonna have a breakdown, and
Are you remembering looking at the airport for your parents, not knowing if you could stay at their place? The uncertainty of your evening, not knowing if the plane could even take off because of all the weight. Mourning your laptop, your favorite working
broken.
laptop.
My favorite laptop. First of all, is it really a breakdown if nobody can see it happen?
Oh,
So-
that's a good
Mhm.
question. That's like a Schrodinger's box.
It is. It is a
Schrodinger's
Schrodinger's
A
box.
Geese Peeps breakdown.
Yeah.
Okay, what is it? What's the bear's name?
Beartic, like bear in Arctic, Beartic.
Beartic Sigh.
Or in Japanese, Tunbear no Tameiki. Taylor is into the episode. I can tell by his
Well, I was-
vacant gaze.
I was waiting for you to talk about the intro. Because I can
Oh.
start right away. I have strong
Oh.
feelings about this intro.
He's got strong. Wait, are you talking about the intro? You talking about
The intro to
talking
the
about-
episode. Like if you're starting second one,
second
I'm
one? All right.
already in love with it.
Clambo's second one. Mina walking out of a snowy forest. Mina, of course, means everyone in Japanese.
I thought you were doing a Jar Jar Binks accent.
Misa. No. They've got real
That's
cute.
fun.
That is funny.
What if I did
Everybody's-
Reporter Geese
Pokemon
for
creators, more Jar Jar Binks inspired dialogue.
Okay. Everybody's wearing cute, adorable winter clothes because they're in a snowy area, which Clambos, it was kind of difficult to tell where they were in the Pokemon world, which is a whole thing with this particular series because they're jumping around, it seems like.
Oh yeah.
Because at some point they walk towards a sign that shows some Apom and a hot spring, which that would be Hokkaido, which is based off the actual onsen with the hot spring monkeys.
Mm-hmm.
But Beartic is a Unova Pokemon, and that would be Unova issue based on the United States. So who's to say where they are? But
I mean,
yeah,
we have hot springs here.
no, not with monkeys. Ash, Brock, and
Hmm.
Misty are walking out of a snowy forest, but towards a snowy mountain, a perennial snowy mountain. And it looks like Ash is telling a story about Gyarados. Yes, Taylor.
I wish we had monkeys in the U.S. I'm not a big fan of monkeys, but it would be kind of fun to occasionally look around and see a monkey.
Taylor, I have great news for you because
Yes.
there are several populations of monkeys in the United States.
Are they? But they're probably escaped, right? And they were hunted for a while, so that they developed like anti-hunting.
Technology.
Yeah, I wanted to say tech, but
tech.
get a nice up B 50/50. But you that makes them dangerous, right?
Oh yeah, they're super dangerous. Don't go near the monkeys. I'm
Yeah, so
thinking
they're, like, in the
specifically about
middle
the
of the
monkeys in
woods.
Florida.
Why is
Oh, it's
Geese
in Florida.
funnier with no video?
Of course, it's Florida.
It's like off screen.
Everything gets out in Florida. That's how pythons got out. I was watching a documentary about the Everglades recently.
Oh
and
man,
boy, did
those
that bring back
pythons
some
are
memories.
destroying them. Oof.
All right,
used-
they're walking towards a sign, and Pikachu notices two paths. One leads to Magikarp's waterfall, where you can turn into a Gyarados, and the
Wait,
other
I
is
didn't
the
even get to talk about how much I like the beginning of the episode.
Hey, Bumhopson. All right, go ahead.
It's great because you never get these like regular conversations. There's normally something going on in Pokemon. So they're just like silently walking and then they hear an explosion or see an Ursa bear. Is that the name of the Pokemon?
Ursa Ring.
Ursa Rig.
Rig.
Um,
Ursa Ring evolves from Teddy Ursa.
Ursa means bear in Latin.
it's true.
Very appropriate.
It's true.
And then Ursa
Um,
Ring evolves into Ursa Luna in Pokemon Legends Arceus.
That means
Bear moon.
Moon bear.
Well, he does evolve on a full moon, so
Mm.
it all checks out, Clambos. It all checks out.
Werebear. So I like this because it's kind of giving me an insight into what their dynamic is when there's not a building on fire somewhere. Like
Ash,
that's
Brock,
real
and
fun.
Misty is
Yeah.
who we're discussing.
Yeah, so they're just talking around, talking about story, or walking around talking about stories. Also, question for you two, because you're real into this. Like I'm assuming you've seen every episode.
Of what?
Do you know of Pokemon? Do you know what story Ash is talking about?
Well, that's not from you girls should know this. The whole reason Magikarp and Gyarados exist is because that's an old Chinese or something folklore about the carp that jumped up the waterfall and turned into a dragon.
Yeah.
So that's how Magikarp evolves in Pokemon Snap. You keep like hitting it with the pester balls to get it up the waterfall.
Yeah.
That's why they're here. That's why they're here is because they want to watch a Magikarp evolve into a Gyarados.
Hmm.
That's from the game lore. That's from real life lore. That's all over
Oh,
They
okay.
probably mentioned it in an episode before. Probably.
Yeah, I
you would
figured
imagine.
they were alluding to something that the viewer had seen Ash doing.
They're going to see the Magikarp evolve. Ash decides to throw out Oshawott, and oh my god, I love Oshawott. In Japanese, his name is Mijumaru, which this generation of Pokemon is the generation I know the most Japanese names of, because this was the last generation to be released in Japanese prior to English. And it was at the peak of my Pokemon everything, being super into the cards and tournaments and packs, and every day of my life was so full of Pokemon. So I was following the Japanese coverage and playing the Japanese version. Not like really playing it, but just like fake playing the Japanese version before it came out in English. So Mijumaru is Geese. Okay, Clambos, send all your hate mail to Geese regarding her dislike of Piplup. But stop sending the email if she can redeem herself by acknowledging that Mijumaru, aka Oshawott, is adorable. Geese?
Yeah, he's okay.
He's such a cutie pie.
The whole time
baby.
I'm looking at his little tiny little
Scalp chop.
arms, holding his little shell, being
He's not
adorable.
my favorite design, but he's cute. I didn't tell you guys that I went to the swamp and I saw real otters in the wild.
And you hated them too?
No.
I mean, they're not my favorite otters. My favorite otters are small, clawed Asian otters, but
they're exciting.
Not cuter than Oshawott.
The American river
how do you
otter
not
is
like
very
Piplup?
mean.
What's wrong with Piplup?
Piplup just doesn't look like a Pokemon character. It just looks like a generic, I don't know, cartoon penguin. He's fine.
Looks a little more like a bird than a cartoon penguin.
He
has more of a chick look to him.
Yeah.
All Pokemon are wonderful. Each one deserves love. And Misty adores Oshawott. She gives him a big ol' hug. She loves water types, so she is a bit, what's the word I'm looking for, girls? She's a bit biased.
Biased.
I
thought you were going for a wind-up on that one.
Biased. Okay. They reach the waterfall, and oh my god, Taylor, what's happened?
It's all frozen. And nobody's dressed for this. You talked about them being in adorable winter garb. They're just wearing jackets. Nobody has a scarf. Nobody has a beanie. Nobody has long pants.
Look. Wait, they're wearing shorts?
I mean, Ash is wearing shorts.
That's pretty good. I would just imagine that Pokemon technology is that you get a jacket and you're good to go. And as we'll find out shortly, do you really need pants when you've got both a Talonflame and an Incineroar? Probably not.
Incineroar is my MVP of the show. Of this episode, I mean.
So Oshawott and Pikachu try to break the waterfall, the ice, to turn it back into water. All the while, a Beartic is looking absolutely furious in the background.
Question. What Tenchi Muyo Anakin Skywalker attack is Oshawott using? What is a blue beam sword doing in Pokemon?
Well, he's using his Scowl Chop to do that. It's called Shell Blade, I think. Let me make sure.
I mean, it looks sick.
I think it's Shell Blade.
Look real sick.
Oshawott. Asha. By the time he evolves into his final evolution, by the time he evolves into his actual final evolution, he can actually take out like a full lance spear from his arms. It's pretty sick.
I'm going to look up fan art because I hope somebody has an Oshawott with like a blue shield and a giant spear looking like Leonidas or something. Oh, that'd be so sick.
And this era when Oshawott and Samurott and Duat came out is when they released that one of the wildest Pokemon crossover games of all time on the DS for Nobunaga's Ambition. So you had these like historical figures, and now they've got Pokemon to battle alongside with them in their RTS game.
That's so sick.
Okay, then we get the intro of the series, which is very good, and you get to see memories from the whole show. Very sick. We cut back, and Oshawott falls. Oh no. He slips, Clambos.
No. So cute.
And his Scowl Chop flies away into the sky. And then, Geese, what happens?
Arctic Bear catches it.
And he throws it back at them. And Oshawat's so adorable. Oh my god.
With his little tears in his eyes.
Oh yeah.
I guess Oshawott would not be an American river otter. He'd be a sea otter.
An Asian clawed otter. Or whatever you said earlier.
I'm telling you.
He's definitely a sea otter because sea otters, in their like little folds of their tummy, carry around a rock that they use to break clams. So I think the little clam he has on his chest is a reference to that.
He got
Scalchop.
confused. So he's taking a clam around trying to break rocks.
Clambos? Give me a second with these two. We're going to practice.
Clam or scallop, whatever.
Both of you are going to say scalchop with me.
Oh, God.
It's the thing on his chest. It's called a scalchop.
Scalchop.
Perfect.
Scalchop. Yeah. That's his Tenchi Muyo power?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Okay. Also, I didn't mention it at the beginning, but the first time you say, what's his name? Tick Bear?
Yes, Taylor. His name's Tick Bear.
Well,
the
like
poison type
Arctic,
tick Pokemon. It's wait, why did geese go like it's tasty?
I love the drama. I eat it up. Yum yum yum.
You can
Bear
get
tick.
you can get ticks at Publix.
Bear
So
tick.
if you bear tick. That's not that ridiculous.
All right.
Like tick bear tick.
Clambos, I've had it up to here. It's now anecdote time of the show. Did you know that in my very first, well, I shouldn't say very first because when I was like 10 years old in Pokemon League, I also played in actual. Did I play in actual tournaments? Actually, no. So my first official tournament game in Pokemon trading card game was against a Beartic deck. And I'll never forget needing to call a judge over because I needed to ask if I could do something. And the judge said, well, I can't tell you if you can do that. You can try to do that, and then I'll tell you if you are allowed to or not.
What?
No, it actually makes a lot of sense because judges can't be your teacher. It's your response. If you're going to go to a Pokemon tournament, it is your responsibility to know the rules of the game. And there are certain things such as entering the attack phase of a turn. You cannot return from that. So I'll give you an example.
Okay.
This happened to me in a game as well. Playing against a guy, it's like super overtime, down to the wire. He's got his Tornadus out. He announces an attack. Okay, I tell him, you don't have the energy for that attack. So then he says, oh, my bad. And he goes to retreat and use another Pokemon that does have the energy to use the attack he wants to use.
Uh-huh.
At which point I say, you can't do that. And then the judge says, yeah, you already entered your attack phase. You can't do things other than attack. So your only options now are to pass the turn or use the attack you do have energy for. So he did that instead.
So
I ended up winning the game. So
it's bringing game knowledge in on both ends. So both people have to know the game.
Yes.
So you get like two opportunities to, okay, I got you.
And
interesting.
That's super frustrating because I remember losing a game I 100% shouldn't have lost because this person didn't know the rules of the game. My whole deck was built around paralyzing, and in Pokemon, you can't retreat or attack if you're paralyzed in the trading card game. And he just went to a retreat, and I thought to myself, so you think I'm so stupid I built a deck around something you can just easily get out of? And it was, but I had to wait so long because that was a huge tournament. That was one of the biggest tournaments I was ever in, so we had to wait forever to get a judge. And because of that, so much time went by. I should have asked for it back.
Oh, wow. I'm surprised there aren't little like timers for something like that.
I could have asked for a time extension. I should have.
Like in soccer.
Anyway, Clambos, I'm sure you're super into this story.
Well, what I was trying to say, Beartic, the Arctic bear type Pokemon. The first time you see him in this, he just looks like he's in a horror movie. Like that looks like a horror anime character.
He's very scary. Geese, are you with us?
Yeah, when you first talked about judge, I don't know why, but I thought you were talking about like courtroom judges, and I was so confused.
Your Honor.
My opponent was paralyzed, trying to get some leeway.
Your Honor, I've got him on item lock, and he's still trying to use the Pokemon. All right,
judge saying you can try to make that accusation.
and I'll tell you if it works or not. Where was I? Okay. Pikachu and Oshawott are terrified of Beartic. Ash is not scared of Beartic. Ash, I think, is, oh, cool. Look at this Pokemon. Are we in Unova? Because that is where Beartic is from, is Unova. Where are we? Now, here, Clambos, here's the problem with Beartic. He has a little issue where he's always accidentally freezing because he breathes and his breath freezes everything in place, whether it be trees, people, Pokemon, you name it. So he's having a little bit of an issue today, okay? And he accidentally freezes Ash, Pikachu, and Oshawott in place. And Ash yells, Talonflame, help us out here. Please use your fire, your flame body effect to melt the ice. Talonflame, of course, was on my team in the game it was introduced in. And Talonflame is great for hatching eggs in your party because Flame Body makes the eggs hatch twice as fast.
Weren't you talking, when that Pokemon was announced, weren't you talking about that being a French Pokemon? Or there being something cool about the French version?
I mean, I think I said his name was dumb, but probably sounds okay in French. Talonflame.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Talonflame. Right. But yeah, he's from Kalos. He's a French Pokemon. So after Talonflame melts all the ice, Beartic runs off, and the other Pokemon get all warm and cuddly on Talonflame.
Is Incineroar here at this point? Incineroar hasn't come out yet, right? It's just Talonflame?
I kind of feel like he threw them out both at the same time, but I don't have Incineroar written down, so maybe not. Ash yells to go chase Beartic because he's sad. And then
his sad eyes, because he sees the eyes and he sees the pain in his eyes.
What he's missing is the bloodlust that is a part of every bear.
Geese relates to Beartic and his deep depression, and then Ash
his meltdowns.
Yeah, and then Ash throws out what Taylor was asking about. Ash throws out Snorlax and Incineroar. Why Snorlax? Who's to say? Probably because he's warm too.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was thinking, Ash is so good at reading Pokemon in general, right? Like reading their body language, knowing how to communicate with them, get the best out of them. He's the best trainer in the world. Do you think Pokemon psychologists are a thing?
Oh yeah. If they have Pokemon sommeliers,
yeah.
I'm leaving that one in. Pokemon Somalian pirates, yes.
Yeah. They have to have psychologists.
Yeah, they got it. Snorlax and Incineroar use Megaton Punch and Dark Lariat on all this ice that the bear made. Create a path. And then Brock and Misty throw out their Pokemon, of course, Starmie and Fortress, and everybody helps out, and everybody clears a path so they can get to the very upset Beartic.
An angry bear runs away, so you chase it.
Yes.
I don't think you two are quite understanding how much I hate bears. Everybody always talks about how much they like bears. How cute bears are.
Geese.
Because
you
of the
like
teddy
getting
bear.
mauled?
They don't talk about how brutal they are as animals. Just so ruthless.
I mean, they're not brutal by nature. Well, unless some of them can be during mating season. So
brown bears, polar bears, you're donezo. But
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If you see a polar bear, you just check out.
Taylor, what I've heard is that in the grand scheme of things, if you were up against bear, hippopotamus, tiger, so on and so forth, you actually got the best bet with a bear if you just like crawl into a ball.
Right, because bears aren't as territorial as a hippo, and they're not as assassiny as a tiger.
Oh my god.
I've never heard about bears like hunting anybody, but just like the way they work, like your best bet is to play dead. The whole
very
situation.
Scary. Clambos,
yeah.
Please avoid all deadly animals. Okay,
bears and alligators and crocodiles. Those are the three.
Gators aren't that bad. Like
gators aren't that bad.
Well, like if you're not disturbing it and you're not like a small fluffy creature, you're fine. Like gators don't want to hunt you.
I had an alligator snap at me when I was a kid in Florida, and that kind of changed how I looked at them. But the more I read, the more I hate them.
I'm the same way
Why?
with
What-
dogs. I've been attacked on the street by dogs, and now whenever I see a dog, I'm just ready for the bite.
Is there
Yeah,
like a
I don't-
size threshold for
It
that?
drives me nuts. Well, no, the smaller ones are more likely to bite you.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually a little bit less afraid of big dogs because I have a strat.
What's the strat?
What's your strat?
You have to shove your arm into their throat. We don't need to. Okay. All the
my,
Pokemon.
my strategy to not get attacked by an animal is to force it to eat me.
No, it actually does work. Okay. All the Pokemon are in ice. Oh my God. But not Ash's Pokemon, but all the Pokemon that live in this area have been encapsulated in ice, frozen in ice. So use Fire Blast. Okay, everyone's good now. And all the Pokemon run off. That was very nice of Ash. And okay. Clambos.
Yes.
We got some fun, goofy music playing at this point. It's like halfway between Hey Arnold and Cowboy Bebop. And
I was wondering about that.
I would bet.
No,
Absolutely.
you know what? You know what it reminds me of?
What?
Yakuza. It reminds me of Yakuza music.
I could see
too.
that.
I would bet you everything I own that there is no possible way when they dub this episode, they're keeping in the fun, goofy music. No way. They're just going to put some dinky, royalty-free ding-da-ding-ding.
Yeah. Going on
Terrible.
SoundCloud, finding something
Terrible.
generic. I hope they keep it.
And then Beartic gets more sad and breathes more ice. And we get a good face from Ash at this point. Geese, did you get any more good faces this episode?
Yeah, I got like 3.
All right, that's good. Especially if one of the faces is not poor Ash frozen in ice, yelling for Talonflame and Incineroar, take care of this. And they once again melt the ice. Clambos, I'm going to keep it real with you. They do the melt the ice gag. I guess it's not a gag, but they do the melt the ice thing a couple too many times. At some point, I went, okay, we get it. We get it. You're trying to fill up 22 minutes. We get it.
Yeah. It was weird, though, because they didn't even have Team Rocket. And I felt like this was a good opportunity to use them because Team Rocket could be in some kind of snowplow or in their little winter clothes or disguised as something. I was surprised they weren't in this one.
Spoilers. Team Rocket's probably not in this one because they've got some big storylines coming up. So look forward to that, Clambos.
Good. Oh, yeah, because like with this being the end of Ash, this is probably going to be the end of Team Rocket too, right?
Don't tell Geese she's gonna cry.
I mean, they're not getting attacked by dogs, if you know what I mean. They're fine.
I don't know what you mean.
What?
They
What
melt
are you
the ice.
talking about?
Everyone gets berries. Everybody is discussing all this ice goof and everything. Ash compliments Beartic, and they discuss, of all things, Kyurem, which it almost takes me out of the episodes when they just bring up legendary Pokemon. I don't know why, but it's just, whoa, that's a big thing to be talking about, Kyurem.
Okay, that's interesting to hear your thought on that, because when I heard that, I was like, that's cool. I liked that because that
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
it kind of delineates the legendary from the mythic. The legendaries are ones that people talk about regularly, right? Whereas the mythic ones, I guess people wouldn't talk about.
Well, they do. So recently, it was absolutely confirmed that the movies are canon. So the movies typically revolve around a legendary or mythical. Both, actually.
But they never remember. Except Mewtwo? No, they never remember.
I think
Spoilers.
Mewtwo wiped their memory a couple times.
That's rude.
Well, they probably saw something they weren't supposed to see.
Yeah.
All right. Ash offers to train Beartic, and I don't understand how Beartic is understanding Ash's Japanese, because like I said earlier, Beartic is a United States Pokemon. He would be speaking English. So
Duolingo.
None of this show makes sense.
Well, it's more of a body language thing.
Yeah, that's what it is. They start up the training, and Brock and Misty discuss their concerns and their admiration for Ash. Ash is doing football practice moves like he's on a Lola, and Pikachu's helping out with the training. It's all very cute.
He's
Beartic,
so good with Pokemon.
He's very good. Beartic makes a giant ice crystal, but Geese, what happens to it?
It explodes.
I love the 4-second delay.
That's
I was-
my brain thinking, Gyra.
All right, you're allowed to think.
I was worried that we had lost you. Okay.
It explodes and everyone's frozen in ice. Oh my god. Oh, I wonder what we're gonna do. Incineroar, why don't you help us? Fire blast.
Yeah.
Clambos. Clambos, you listen to me. I hope you can
Yes.
hear this.
Mm.
These
Ooh,
fire
I like this.
These fire Pokemon, they're coming in handy. That's all I'm
You
saying.
should do
Very
ASMR.
much so. And it's real. And it's real sick.
Oh, yeah?
All right, Oshawott adorable as usual. Everybody loves him. Ash makes Beartic feel better. He says, "It's okay, Beartic. We're still training. It's okay to make mistakes." And then Scout Chop. Oshawott comes up with the brilliant idea. "Beartic, I got it. Why don't you just make a Scout Chop made out of ice? Look, I've got one on my chest. It's a little shell. It's sick." He's got a cutie pie face with some determination, and Beartic tries, but it explodes again. The fire pokes are already on it, so nobody gets frozen. But now,
Scal Chop.
good work, Taylor.
Thank
But
you.
now the training gets serious. All the pokes that were frozen from before come out. All the stars are here. We got Oddish, Bellsprout, Seedot, Teddy Ursaring, Apom, and Spearow. Oh my god, he did it? Did he do it, Taylor? Did he finally make an ice Scout Chop?
Kinda.
Kinda. But it explodes again, and oh
Yeah.
my god, even the fire types are frozen. You gotta be kidding me.
That was real powerful. Incineroar, like I said, MVP of the episode, sacrificed himself to keep everybody else safe. What a
All
what
the
a
trees are frozen.
sick Pokemon.
And Geese, after this horrifying embarrassment, what does Beartic do?
He runs away because he's sad that he's going to hurt the people he loves.
He runs off into the ice fields, the lake, frozen ice cavern. Well, they're on. We'll get to it.
Spoilers.
But
Whoa.
Oh! Oh!
Oh!
So Beartic stands in the middle of the ice fields, stares straight up into the sky, and screams.
It's
do
basically
that
out of
often.
Frozen.
He screams so loud and screams so hard. There's just ice and snow falling everywhere. He can't stop vomboing ice.
Pretty sick.
He is pretty sick.
Pretty sick.
Pretty sick. There's very dramatic music, Clambo, so you know this is serious. Snow everywhere, but then Ash runs to him and hugs him and tells him it's gonna be okay. Daijobu, Tunbear. Daijobu. Ganbatte! And then, oh my god, everyone's gonna die. What happens next?
Isn't there some kind of big... I can't remember what the inciting incident was, but I remember all the ice cracking on the pond.
Exactly. The ice cracks, and then what happens? Oh my god.
They all fall in.
Yeah, they all fall into... I'm gonna need your help, all of you. Every
Yes.
last one of you. What word would you use to describe what they are currently inside of? Is this a
glacier.
cavern?
crag.
A valley?
No,
They're
no,
on
no.
a
crag.
glacier.
I'm
They're on a
going with
glacier,
crag.
and the
Going with
glacier
crag.
broke.
Well, it's not a glacier, right?
Will
I
you
mean,
let
it was
her
just a
speak?
frozen
Oh my
frozen lake.
God.
Well, like a glacier can be like a frozen lake. Like if you go to Glacier National Park, you know, they have those like, and they have like natural cracks in
Uh-huh.
glaciers, and so they just, you know, they went down a glacier hole.
So they fall in the glacier hole, and oh my goodness, Beartic saves Ash because he was going to die otherwise, but Beartic held on to him. But Geese, what happened to Ash's ankle?
He sprained it.
He can't walk, Clambos. What are we going to do?
This is a classic 127 hours scenario.
He's going to have to eat his leg. So Ash says,
Like in
Ash says-
127 hours.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ash says to Beartic, Beartic, I can't go on. Leave me behind. You take the adorable little Pokemon and get out of here. Use your claws. Climb on up. And Beartic says in perfect English, no, Ash. You get on top of me, and we'll all go out together. And he says, all right. Well, first Ash says, tell Brock and Misty, and they can help us. And then Beartic's like, no, I got it. Just jump on
Yeah,
my back.
I was gonna. I thought maybe I was remembering it wrong, but I was gonna say I don't think he was
Wasn't
resigned.
giving up on life.
Just like, I knew I would go in the bottom of a glacier hole.
I knew it'd be a sprained ankle. I don't know why, but you don't see that often in Pokemon, just like a very specific human injury. So it's like the most unsettling thing in Pokemon. Like, oh my God, he hurt his ankle. Ugh.
So I felt the exact same way. It's interesting to hear you say that because I'm so used to everybody surviving explosions, tidal waves, electrocution, blunt trauma. So it was interesting to see like a little ankle sprain. Is that the first time
but
Ash
it's
has
like
been
the
injured?
it's the most serious.
Yeah.
Ash is holding on for dear life. The fire Pokemon finally get out of their frozen prison. You see a bunch of water around them because they're just using fire attacks. Oh my God. Beartic is getting tired, climbing up the ice wall, and his claw slips. But then, Geese, what happens? What has all this training led to?
He uses his ice powers to make a little ledge so that he can, make ledges up to the glacier wall.
That's exactly correct. He makes an ice platform with his breath to save everyone. And now it's like you're playing a platformer video game on the Nintendo 64. He's making platforms left and right. He's jumping between them. He's looking sick. He's a pro.
What was the line? What was the translation of the line? Because it was really good. I should have written it down. It was, you found inspiration in crisis or something like that.
Something like that. I mean, that's a classic anime trope. Like, when it really matters, you can do it.
Well, just the wording of it was very funny if you think about how old Ash is.
Yeah. And Brock and Misty have arrived at this point, and they're amazed at what they're seeing. Okay, so Ash gets up, and oh no, we forgot about his ankle. It hurts so bad, but Brock's good old Brock's. Brock will fix it, and then Pikachu runs. I don't know why. It doesn't seem like this is what needs to be. This is the most pressing matter. But Pikachu runs away from Ash into the forest to talk to all the Pokemon that were unfrozen. And he just tells them, guys, it's cool. Beartic is sick. He's friendly. He's cool. He knows how to use ice now.
He's real concerned about making friends. Fine.
That's fine.
Yeah.
And then Oshawott is super confident in Beartic and tells Beartic to try one more final time to make an ice Scalchop. And Geese, what does he do? What does Beartic do?
He does it.
Oh my God. The sound effect they have for Oshawott putting his Scalchop on his chest is so good. It actually sounds like kind of a phone notification, so I kept checking my phone, but I still love it. Very cute.
He's so proud. He puts his little hands on his hips and he looks up and he's so proud of his work.
He's an ice master now, and all the Pokemon are so impressed. Bellsprout runs up, and Bellsprout asks for an ice Scalchop for his very own. And so
sick.
makes one for him, and then all the Pokemon are asking for ice Scalchops. Everybody's having a great time. Beartic's got his on his chest too, just like Oshawott.
Who knew Oshawott would be such a trendsetter?
And all the while, Geese, and normally you say you're not watching the episode at this point, so let's see if you know this week. Who is up in the sky, invisible, watching them this whole time?
God.
I don't know what their name is.
It's Latias.
I thought you were going to ask me who was the first Pokemon to come and get another clam.
Yeah, it was Bellsprout.
I have a question. There was like a dinosaur screech or something before you see Latias? Darn
Here's
it.
what I wanted more than anything for Geese to say when I asked her who was up in the sky invisible. I wanted her to say Team Rocket.
Team Rocket, yeah.
It was not Team Rocket, it was Latias. Because Latias is at the end of every episode, invisible, watching Ash's adventure through this miniseries.
It'd be cool if they had an episode entirely from Latias's perspective. Like watching Ash go through this.
Hey, I'm not going to spoil, but we got some more episodes. And then to round out the episode, Clambos, they all go to watch the Magikarp jump up the stream because they melted the frozen waterfall. And I actually expected us to see a Gyarados, but we don't. The episode ends without seeing it, but that's fine.
Yeah, they just wanted to see the Magikarp.
Guys.
What?
I got my scalp sunburned and now I'm flaking, and it looks like I have really, really bad dandruff.
Oh no. Taylor can relate. Wait, is that a secret? Do you not want people to know, Taylor?
What?
About your horrific dandruff, your debilitating, embarrassing dandruff.
It's psoriasis that I have.
Oh, that's what I meant. That's what I meant the whole time.
Oh God,
I
it's
need
so
to know.
so
What?
annoying having it.
I need to know because this has never been said to me by a haircutist. But I went to go get my haircut.
A barber? You mean a barber?
A stylist, haircuttery,
Haircuttress.
haircuttress. But he was a man this time. That's rare. It's normally women who cut my hair. I just go to with I think a lot of people are like this. I think a lot of people fall into little habits with like they just wear the same shoes for the rest of their life. Not the same pair, but the same brand or whatever. And I don't know anything about getting haircuts. So Taylor just one time said or went to this Floyd's haircut place. So that's the only place I will ever get my haircut now because I don't know what else to do.
I
mean,
think
it's-
that's where Justin goes.
See, there we go.
Friend of the
Justin,
show.
the whole time. Friend of the show. So I went there, and since I rarely get a haircut, I don't have somebody I go to specifically. So I just go with whoever's available. Normally it's a woman. This time it was a man. But he cut my hair and told me, you need to not shampoo as much. And I said, but if I don't shampoo every day, then my hair looks all greasy and disgusting. I don't even want to leave the house. And he says,
Yeah, you have to
well,
wean it off.
that's what he said. He said, well, it's good doing that because you shampoo every day. But I'm so confused. I should have asked him. How did he know that I shampoo too much? What did he see in my hair?
Your hair is damaged.
Oh my God. But then he started telling me stuff I didn't even know. And then Kyle backed him up. So I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, you're not supposed to wash your hair every day.
I mean,
It's
it's
bad
true.
for your hair.
A lot of
Yeah,
people say
well-
once a week.
Everybody who said that, they didn't have gross hair if they don't shampoo like I did. But now I'm learning. Turns out, Clambos, I didn't know what conditioner was.
Oh
Apparently.
God.
Were you just using vegetable oil?
You tell me what conditioner is.
It's a moisturizer.
Yeah, it's
All I
conditioner.
know.
What do you want?
What do you want? All I know is that 20 years ago, the last time I used a conditioner,
What? Wait, no, stop. You're telling me you haven't used a conditioner since 20 years ago?
I use shampoo every day.
Your poor hair. Oh my goodness. No wonder your barber could tell.
Wait, no, I don't use conditioner either.
I don't know anybody who uses conditioner.
Gosh, you guys, if anything, you should use conditioner and no shampoo.
That's what he said. He said you can condition every day, but shampoo, like, not every day.
Interesting.
Oh
But
my
all I
goodness.
remember is I would be in the shower and I'd shampoo and wash the shampoo off. Great, good to go. Then I'd put in the conditioner and the conditioner would never come out of my hair. So I hated it and I'd never use it again. But
Well, it's supposed to
but-
feel like that.
Clambos, great news. My boy at the barbershop said, look, I got you. And because I always get goop in my hair, so it holds in place when I get it short. And he's like, no, here we go. He put in leave-in conditioner in my hair. And now I've got
Oh my
leave-in
God.
conditioner that I
Oh
just
my
use
God.
after the shower. What do
So
oh
you
my
know
God.
the stuff that I
I
leave in
just-
the kitchen? That is Floyd's leave-in conditioner.
Oh,
Love it.
oh,
I love
God,
that
so
stuff.
For no reason. Yes, Geese.
No, it's just funny that you're just now learning this as a, what are you, 52-year-old man?
I'm
51.
very early 30s.
so early. It's 20s.
It's before mid. It's before mid. I'll tell you that
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
So's Taylor, I think. It's not
Yeah.
June or August.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh God,
The
he's gonna
mid-30s
hate.
don't start
He's
until
gonna
30
hate me
now.
in mid 30s.
Mm.
I've
I
been
think
saying
Taylor
I'm in
hates-
my mid-30s since I was 30.
I've thought I've been the same age for about 3 or 4 years now. So when I learn the actual age, I go, no way.
To
Okay.
be fair, time basically froze for 3 years. So
All right, yeah, I think enough people
Yeah.
discuss that one. We'll move on. But okay,
Yeah.
I don't know what on earth we were talking about.
Pokemon.
I think it's wrap up time, everybody. Was there anything we wanted to discuss further that we did not discuss in Lookin', Playing, Goofin', Eatin' before we move to the wrap up?
No.
Nintendo.
Yeah, I can't think of
let me add that Nintendo World Universal in general needs to work on a lot of things. The sight lines, because I'm spoiled by Disney parks, and you just look around and everything gets you feel like you're in where they intend you to be because the sight lines all work. When you're
Disney's
in Super
just
Nintendo
a
World,
different caliber, though.
what?
It's just so different. Harry Potter or Hogwarts, I think, does a good job of mimicking a Disney park.
It's
but
way better
that,
at sightlines than Nintendo World, because Nintendo
that
World you just
location's
look up.
tough.
You look up, you see the Comcast building. You look anywhere, you see Minions in Jurassic Park, and it just takes you out of Nintendo so quick. And
Yeah.
they don't clean things like they do. Like going from Tokyo Disney Sea, where it's just everything's immaculate, to this dirty park where there's just trash on the actual I don't know what word you would use to describe it, but they've got all these neat things. And I hate that you can see the mechanics of everything very easily. They don't even try to hide the levers and rods and stuff that should be hidden to make it more better for the suspension of disbelief. Still worth checking out, but yeah, I think
that's
they
how
could improve a lot.
that's universal, though. Like when you're
I know.
in a line for a ride, you are just abundantly aware that you are in line for a ride. Whereas in Disney, you're like, oh, I'm just hanging out in this part of the park, and it doesn't ever feel like it. I'm always talking about how good Disney is at that.
Well, the Universal annual pass was so cheap, I just thought, it's
you got another one? I got one
no,
of those.
I've never had one before. I've
Really?
been to
I've had
Universal
two.
Studios, but I had Knott's Berry Farm annual pass a couple times.
Yeah, me too.
No, hey, we had the best time of our lives at the Boys.
It was a great choice.
Geese,
I still remember that one roller coaster.
That's a good roller coaster. Geese, why don't you take us through the wrap up?
Okay. Thank you all for listening to this podcast that we are all on. You can follow us on social media at Look Listen Cast, all one word, on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Thank you to Keith for our artwork. You can find him on twitch.tv/KeithSquared. Guyera, why don't you thank the supporters?
Thank you, supporters, for all of your support. You can support us too by going to looklistencast.com, because there's a link there. Now, Clambos, we keep calling it Anchor.fm, Hungy for Anchor.fm, but I think they changed the name of it to Spotify for Podcasters. So I don't know if we have to re-record that ad. I haven't got an email. Who's to say?
Who's to say?
Who's to say? Shouts out to Professor Ticklebits or Prof Bits, Aaron McBits for the website, and Boilerplate Taylor. God. Twitch.tv/ let's hope this is current, Prof_Ticklebits. I know that's not his Twitter, so who's to say? Who's to say?
I think that's right.
Maybe it's right. Please recommend this podcast to your friends and family and grandmothers, everyone, and nephews and nieces and little cousins.
Because it's family friendly.
Exactly. That is a very good reason. Geese, please read our question this week from DrivingDVan.
DrivingDVan asks, what is a cultural aspect or tradition you experienced in Japan that you wish was common in the U.S.?
Oh my God, where to begin? Dvan? Oh God.
Queuing culture, I'd say.
What culture?
What was that?
Queuing.
Oh, lines?
Yeah. Going up escalators. That's real good.
I would definitely say just the way people behave in public and how you're treated absolutely everywhere you go is miles and miles and miles better in Japan. It's I mean, we've had this discussion 1,000 times. Japan is not a perfect society. There's lots of problems, but man, do they have a lot of stuff figured out way better than we do. So much. But that has to do with the culture of thinking about the group and not yourself, and shame and all this, and it makes for a very pleasant visit. I know people have trouble living there for different reasons, but if you're going to visit somewhere, you must pick Japan, because it's the greatest place on earth to visit. Yes, Taylor, you can also join in the question because you've been to Japan.
Yeah, I think my favorite part of that culture that we don't have here is getting more respect, one, based on how good you are at your job, not necessarily how much money you make. Two, respect for age. I wish we had that in the US instead of just like as soon as you get old, you're totally irrelevant. Which is, I think that's really frustrating, and we have like this weird obsession with youth because of it. And it's really, I've always thought that was a really cool part of Japanese culture.
To a detriment sometimes, because you could have some hotshot new guy in a company who has the best ideas in the world, but because he's not senpai, he's kohai.
Yeah, there's also that, especially with work culture, there's a lot of...
oh, God.
It's...
No.
Oh, God, yeah.
Don't work for a Japanese company, whatever you do. Just visit there.
It's very good to do the same thing over and over and over again and kind of, hone that edge instead of making a new edge. So, pros and cons of everything. But I do, I think that's my favorite part of it. Other than escalators. Just so good. And traffic. Driving in Japan was so simple.
You drove?
Yeah.
I drive allowed to?
Anytime I leave the country, I drive for a little bit.
That's illegal.
What?
Nah.
Yes, it is.
License. I drove in Turkey a crap load.
You have an
No, it's not
international
illegal.
license?
No. You don't. I mean,
Yeah,
it was
then it's
fine.
illegal.
It was fine in Turkey. It was fine in Thailand.
I doubt Turkey and Thailand care, but in Japan, you need an international license to drive.
I mean, I wasn't
No,
driving
you
on the
don't.
freeway. I was just driving around the little area.
Oh my God. Admitting to your crimes, you will never be invited back to Japan. I'll cut it out.
Yes, I will. Yes, I will.
All right, Clambos, thank you for listening. And I was going to say watch, but there's no video here. Thank you for listening to our podcast. Thank you for listening. I hope you listen because, it's nice to do that.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the podcast. Okay, bye, everybody. Say goodbye, Geese.
Goodbye, Geese.
Goodbye, Geese. Okay. Press goodbye button.
Howdy, y'all. It's me, Geese Pete. Thank you for listening to the Geese Pete Productions podcast.
Geese Peep Enterprises, doing business as Peep Industries, together with its subsidiaries, is a diversified worldwide entertainment company with operations in media networks, talent management, parks and resorts, multimedia entertainment, and consumer products and interactive media. Geese Peep Enterprises is a Dow 30 company